less because I don't have a lot to talk about here. So of course, as Louis, the father to Caborera, actually had birthday, and the birthday party was filled with begging, with Marwa reminding people to contribute towards the father-in-law. And I was like, okay, how about you do the same for your mother and your father? Of course, the current father we know for Marwa is Machete Man. Then Marwa decided in the same video to drop a bomb against Ogutu, uncle, and his own father. And I was like, hey, were you supposed to prove it through your video? But anyway, let's go after it. So here, Louis is good evening. Kate, is it afternoon where you are? Here it's evening now. We are almost approaching 8 p.m. And I'm just foreseeing a process whereby tomorrow I should have traveled to go home, but I may travel on Sunday. Maybe let's just see what will happen. So here we are. Checking on matters here. Hey, my computer again hung. What is this? Oh my God, my computer hung. This computer has a problem. Whenever you hold it in a given way, it will automatically teach you something. But anyway, so we saw Louis preparing goats, right, at the villa with the spices from America. Good evening, Kate. All right, thank you so much for showing up. This is my last video here. I don't know whether I'll get time to do a video on the other platform. I've been so much away from anything, and especially with the flu and all that. But I hope everything will be fine. I'm trying to take medication as possible. Of course, I have some medication I have to take immediately after this. Yeah. And so guys, let's go after it. Now I'll be talking before the video comes and I show you something. So Marwa came up to begin to reveal a lot about the father and Uncle Ogutu. About smoking, about not being able to actually take care of a family. The fact that, oh, thank you. I'll take lemon tea. I'll take lemon tea because I have lemon. I bought lemon for myself, so I'll use it. And also I have ginger, so I'll grab some ginger tea and lemon to help me overcome this cold. Because actually we were in a very cold place, and I think it automatically affected me. I'm not a friend to a very cold place. I don't know whether I can survive when I go to these countries with winter. But if I get an opportunity, why not? I'll go and try to see, maybe dress warmly and survive. Because as I told you guys, Kenya is not so friendly economically, as I can say. Yeah, so I don't know why the computer is rejecting connection, but let me see what happens. What is this now? The computer is rejecting connection. Oh, the phone has disconnected. Yeah, so as I said, we are not going to take a lot of time on Marwa's analysis. And so we are going to be very fast in this, and then I'll go take a bath. So as I was saying, Marwa came up with a very funny story about the uncle Ogutu. And I was like, why the hell had he to do that? So I'm just checking here. He comes up to show us the father-in-law preparing goats for the birthday.
Mr. Luis is preparing, I'm telling you. Vamos a ver qué sale. Mr. Luis está. Vamos a ver qué sale. Es otro nivel. Tú no cortas. Ahora vemos. Ahora vemos cómo está, lo cortamos cachito. So guys, Mr. Luis is preparing a barbecue. No, I call it carne asado. It's very popular in Argentina, and you can see Mr. Luis here is one of the best cooks actually I know, especially when it comes to... es un Mr. Luis. Lento, lento, Mr. Luis. Todo sale. Pole, pole. Pole, pole. I'm telling you guys. Pole, pole. Today, because every day he keeps shedding. This is very nice. He's grown. Mkubwa mkubwa. They've been grazing here for a month. At least it's good to have this field here. And you know what? Something funny. Still more horses are coming around January, latest mid-Feb. Yeah. So we are working on that to see. It's crazy. You know, for us to have our main purpose of actually having horses is to breed. We want to breed and sell the horses. So for us to breed, we need to categorize, especially pure breeds. You know, like we don't want to mix, because when it's a mix, sometimes people want pure Appaloosa, pure Frisian, pure quarter horse, pure American paint horse, pure. There are many types of horses, pure thoroughbred. So that being said, is we need to get one male with minimum 4 females. Otherwise, for example, right now we have 2 males here. They have finished their job. If their job is just breeding, it's done. All the mares have been covered. Mares are the female horses. They've been covered. That means now the males can't do anything for the next 11 months.
And then
So
you can imagine Maro is revealing that, but he's planning to let them be. My goodness, I don't think this these male horses will survive just around like that. And that is why training is very crucial. Of course, we saw the other day Maro trying to say that they are only there to breed horses. What I believe is any farm that is breeding horses should be ready also to train horses, so that when people buy these horses, they are in a good situation or in a good condition, let's say in terms of friendliness. How do you go about buying a horse that has not been trained? Sometimes it will be too difficult. So as far as Maro is trying to tell us, his intention is just to breed. You cannot separate breeding from training. That one, even if I'm not doing horses, I can't accept that. Because people want horses which have been trained. And unfortunately, Maro has let go people like Max who love horses, Max Bryan. He let Kamau go. He let also Joseph go. So currently we have a trainer, but he cannot manage with the many horses that are aggressive. How I wish that Maro could actually use his senses and not send them away and just appreciate them so that they do their work at the same time enjoy. Now, the other day, Maro came up with a policy. People should choose either to do their work or to take videos in his home. And I was like, do you know why people like working for Marwa? They normally know that they'll make content around his home and therefore they'll survive. People will watch them. Now, when you block these boys from making content, what are you doing? Of course, I understand you don't want duplication. But if you give them freedom to do at their own time, do you think they'll duplicate what you've done? I don't think so. But anyway, it is what it is. Marwa seems to be a bit jealous about his workers. Whenever he sees them growing, he cheats that he's happy to let people grow, but there is some kind of jealousy that eats into him when he sees people growing up. Maybe somebody like Max Bryan was known from there, and he's making views even on his own as he struggles around with his neck that was broken at Marwa's. But anyway, away from that, let's focus on what he's saying. He's saying he's here to breed horses, and he's going to bring more horses in January. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't have that. Do you have grass? You don't have. Now, once school opens, you cannot be there the entire day unless you go in the evening when kids leave. Because your horses, some of them are aggressive. They are biting each other and all that. What about the students? Is it safe for students? I don't think so. Anyway, Let's turn around and see. There is something else he said. I hope I'll find it here.
It's November, December, August. No, November, December, April and August. That's when schools are closed. So if we strike that deal, at least we'll have this field for our horses to be grazing for 4 months a year. That's still okay.
Okay.
Can you imagine? We help the school grass to be low. At the same time, we are building them a very beautiful gate.
Okay.
What a deal. What a time.
Okay.
Guys, please give my video a like. Some of you watch my videos. This just because they want one of you or two of you to say, oh, sorry, you're my son, I want to support you. No, it doesn't work like that. Yes, we want to cultivate honesty. And at the same time, me, I have no problem anybody opening a YouTube channel in my compound. The only thing I have is, if that is your intention, make it clear from the word go. Just say, Marwa, I've come to your home. I've been a fan on your YouTube. My main goal in this home is to do my YouTube channel. Number 2, help you. That one I'll take you serious. But if you come dodgy, then one day I wake up and I'm told, hey, you know, that guy has a YouTube channel. We saw his channel. And then you'd like to push things up for the sake of making videos, like now how they took my horse to go and ride and broke the leg, just for a video and maybe show off, I would say, without my consent, without me knowing even. I knew my horses were here. But somebody called me and said, oh, Maro, you know, are you Maro? Yes. Oh, we find one of your horses here, I can't walk, come and see. Crazy. And I was saying, if it was one of those white guys who have horses in Kenya, people would have gone to jail. People don't play with their... But me, you know, sometimes I eat with them, I laugh with them, we talk like boys, you know, and I say boys, I mean like we can sit down and...
Okay, so Maro is trying to justify that his own lambs are good master. Do you agree with that? His horses were taken, he thought they are in the school compound, they were not, and one of them broke the leg. It was an accident, for heaven's sake, right? Of course, maybe the guy was wrong, but then, do you just decide and say that if it was another person, they could go to jail? But for him, he was friendly enough, they didn't go to jail. And because Max created a YouTube channel without his knowledge, without coming and saying it straight away, he was supposed to have been here working for free, but with a YouTube channel. That's his agreement. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't feel that would be okay. Anyway, if you have a maid in my house, if they come and say they are coming to create a YouTube from there and then grow, do I now tell them to work for me for free? I don't think it's possible. People need something to survive on, right? Because YouTube will not pay you that big. You know, some people think that when you start YouTube and you are doing videos, you are paid big time. It's not true. It's not true. He's getting good money because he has so much followers, a lot of followers. But even these other people who do YouTube, especially live stream, they don't make a lot of money. They don't. But anyway, let's hear his complaint.
It simply means I'm able to weigh situations and just make a conscious decision as a human being who does not want problems with other people, you know. It simply means that a conscious decision. You know, when you just mind your business. Like now I'm looking at my horses. I'm not looking for some people's cow and chasing them. No, I'm just minding my business, you know. When you do things like that, sometimes you don't even have time for people because some people are very idle. They don't have anything to do, so they go around snooping and looking for trouble. But I bet you, if he repeats, it will not be the same. And for him, he may think the case was thrown away. No, I 100% had to raise up my hand and say, I, Frederick Maro, I swear, nobody has coerced me, nobody has paid me, nobody has forced me to withdraw this case. Otherwise, even if I didn't show up in court, that case will be pending. It was not ever. I had also a decision of not showing up to court. Still, that could mean the case would still be there. It doesn't mean that the judge can just throw it away like that, no? So, that is the truth of the matter. But from my heart, I just want people to mind their business.
All right, guys. So Marwa comes up and talks about the Gintu story, and Gintu already talked about it. I saw other people reacting towards it. Now, if you have left it from the soul of your heart, why are you actually telling us? But anyway, it's in the nature of YouTubers in Nyabohanze. Gintu will tell us this, Marwa will tell us this, somebody else will come and tell us this. Live in peace, guys. Even if somebody is snooping, it doesn't matter. Does it really matter? I don't think so. What are you afraid of, Marwa? Because you have your horses, somebody snoops around and takes videos or talks about it. Does it really hurt you? I don't think so. But anyway, they are always scared. I don't know what. I don't know why. But then, if it were me, I wouldn't really mind. Because what trouble should I look for? If somebody is already looking for trouble, let it find them elsewhere. But you cannot tell people mind your business, because if that is content they are doing, they'll continue doing so. Now, it's very unreasonable actually for the court to have told Gintu to stay away 300 meters away from Marwa's property. Remember, Gintu has fish around that place of Marwa, so it's impossible for him to do so. So dinner was served, and of course, mother to Marwa came about. Not today, but it must be a different day, right? Yeah, so this was a birthday. All right. But away from this birthday, there is a video, I don't know which one, where Maro was trying to explain how Ogutu has been a criminal, how also his father used to be a criminal. I don't know what came over him that he began to give such a story, but it's unfortunate. How do you go about talking about a drug abuser out of your uncle? Then he came to show us the house the uncle should go to, the fact that he is a wing person in the life of the uncle. The uncle has been playing, he's not supposed to have a woman with so many kids. I was like, what is this? But if you go look for that video, you'll see a lot. You know, I'm just trying to go through this video quickly. I don't want to spend a lot of time, maximum of 22 minutes around there. Now, guys, let's come to OBINNA. OBINNA was in hot soup as Oluoch, that son Omar, and Cliff Ombeta were after his neck, because he mentioned their name in certain case, so they were focusing on taking him to court. Now, Mike Sonko organized to have them, have a talk, and of course it happened. So let's look at this. I'll be just skipping through this because, as I said, I'll not take more than 20 minutes.
So that we said we need it retracted, we can still go. But Omar called me and told me that Sonko wants to speak to us. So I said, okay, about what? He said, about what was going on X. I said, okay, fine, let him talk to us. And he said, oh, look here, I know the young gentleman, and I know OBINNA. OBINNA has been at my office, and we want to see this matter come to. I said, I even have no problem about it. I want to resolve this issue. And so I was ready, actually. So actually called me again. I spoke to him directly. He called me again this morning. Yesterday I wasn't going to be available because I was busy. Mazisha Ibrahim. And there was something else that we were doing yesterday. We went also to visit Jirongo. So today I was in the court. There was some matter I was following up. He called me this morning. I told him I'll be here by 1. So here I am. So luckily, as OBINNA would call this gentleman, now he is my friend, let me say that. He walks in and I'm telling him, I know you. And he says, yes, we have even had lunch together. He said that we have even had lunch together. I brought them lunch. We have had tea together when he was doing attachment at the Milimani Law Court. We have agreed. I told him I have no beef. I have no issues. I have nothing I don't want to follow up this matter. It has nothing really. You see, the damage can only be if we do not speak about it and it goes wild. But we have agreed that we'll let it go. It's water under the bridge. I've spoken to my friend here. He has a show to run and things to do. He's an MC and many other things. He does functions. While he has made his bonds in his field, my friend here has to make his bonds in his field. We don't want to spoil this. development, because you see, he has to be admitted, he has to start his practice, and people will be seeing and saying what kind of a person is he, and people will ask questions. And you see, usually when somebody like him wants to be admitted in the bar, there is always that gazette notice, and people would want to know who he is. And if we make comments and say this person has done this to us, or we see there is a suit against us, we spoil for him, and we damage his development. And this cannot be good for him at this particular stage. And I tend to think that it is something that we can forget about. We make these mistakes, believe me, I have done them. But nowadays, even when I'm pulling a stunt even against some big people in government, you'll always see the way I quote, I tell guys, be wise, don't say this, be wise. Though me ndio nakosanga kuwa wise, ingine naisemanga direct, but I know that I have cushioned myself somehow. So I tend to think that there is peace, and they have no problem. That's all I can say for the time being. But as for the matter going forward, actually, we hadn't informed him that we had also reported at the DCI for misuse of a cyber. Bro, mulikuwa mnaenda ndani. Tulikuwa naongoja iwe Friday. Sasa leo. Ya leo ngelala ndani. Bro, Monday ungechukua pili lakini na Christmas na unyime bond. But anyway. Yaani kwa kupangia hivi. Ilikuwa imeenda mbali, but we have withdrawn into the guys. We have told them we are not interested in the matter anymore. I've asked Shatboy to indicate that the matter is no longer going to court anymore. There are no threats about it. So all right, guys. So that is it. When there is peace, everything continues. I wish actually Maro would be coming out to speak like this. But for him, he has to come about, threaten, say he can do anything if he was not in court. Yeah, so I have to keep asking about this question. Why? Maro will never come up in a video and then just show us how he has shown, and then everything goes in peace. He will keep coming and bragging about something, which I don't say it is so wrong, but then it is not good, right? Yeah, so in this video,
good morning, guys. Maro, feel yourself in a good way. Or you want to hear from the man himself? The cows, for sure. I don't know if horses can eat them, but you know, horses are very funny. They don't like super green matter or wet matter. They like more dry stuff, but they can graze grass. And again, if they are used to eating dry, when you give them very wet matter, let's say very green grass, they can start diarrheaing.
Diarrhea?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we are doing.
Okay, Maro. So it is this video that Maro came up to reveal a lot about Uncle Ogutu. And I want us to get into what he said.
We are very lucky that we have all this maize we bought. That means I'll ask the guy who takes care of the cows to store all this during planting season. When there's no place to graze, they can always use this one to feed the cows.
Okay.
You know? Uncle is a very dedicated man. You see, when he does something, he does it on a serious note. I want him to start living there. Uncle does not have a wife.
Really?
So if you are a lady there who would want to marry my uncle, please avail yourself in a good way. Or you want to hear from the man himself.
You already said about it,
Uncle
then you come and ask.
Which I will not tell here. But it's not like he doesn't have even a kid. Uncle used to have a family long time ago. And then he got into a fight. And then he got arrested. and then he went to jail long time ago when I was like maybe 5 years old. He went for I think 9 years. They had put for him manslaughter, which would mean life
Which means he killed somebody?
Imprisonment.
Okay.
But somehow he appealed and the judge looked at it and realized no, he gave him 9 years.
Okay.
So that's how he lost his family. So when he came back home, his wife had left with the kids. I think she's married somewhere else.
You
So
think?
then uncle became single. Until today he's not found a wife. But he's a very nice man.
He's a very nice man, but he got into a fight, then got manslaughter, which means he killed somebody, right? Once you kill somebody, you become an outcast in your society. That is the unfortunate bit of it. Why would you be campaigning, talking about your uncle being a very nice person, but at the same time the story you are giving is not very good? Does it mean he's so emotional, or what is this that put him in for 9 years? He was on manslaughter. Now you are saying the family went away. You don't know whether it was married or not. Those are old times when people never went so far from where they used to be. So how comes you don't know where she went? Is this a story similar to what Daniel has been revealing? Anyway, let's check into it.
And also, you know, when you are a young man, you can do things that when you look back, you would regret them.
Okay.
But for him, he's very hardworking. He's been working here in my home over a year plus. He drinks a little bit, not too much, because I don't allow too much in my home. But because sometimes I understand some people, they want to have one for the road to feel a little alive. I allow him do his thing. And also he's older than me.
All right.
So even if I'm a boss, I cannot just overrun my bossiness. So if you're a lady right there is a number here, you can write me.
Okay.
But at least don't have many kids. Or at least don't have kids. Because the thing is, if you come with kids...
Oh, so Maro came up with the rules now. This man has been single for so many years. He has been living single for a long time. Is it Maro's idea to come up with the effect of interest of Ogutu marrying, or did Ogutu share with him? Did Ogutu share about the kids the woman should have, or is it Maro's idea because he's scared of having too many people in the home? Now let's get the reason, Maro. Why don't you want the woman to come with many kids? Let's hear.
For now, we are creating a stud here. A stud is a horse area. So for sure, if you come with a lot of kids, it simply means uncle will not manage to take care of you. Because for example, right now I want him to move to this house. Somebody used to live here. You know, sometimes people feel very bad that me, I have a villa and I'm telling someone to come and live here. This is very normal here. It's very normal. I remember I had one worker who I built big houses like this, 3 of them, bigger than this. And then people pushed a lot of bad ideas in his mind, saying, oh, they're building you a house table and all these things. And this guy didn't have anything before that. And then the guy became full of himself and started becoming very arrogant. And I had to send him away. Because sometimes people just want to push you. You have to start from somewhere.
Okay, you have to start from somewhere, right? But this house can be renovated just to have the cement on floor and on the walls, something which is so easy for you as a rich man as you are. Because again, we look at people with the ranks. If you are a rich person and you are home, actually you have home house servants. My sister currently is working for somebody who is very fine. Even as they go for holiday, she's also on holiday. She's treated fine. And I think that's the best thing that workers want from a boss. But Mara always has to justify why he's doing whatever he's doing. It's not about people making him feel full of himself. But when you're working in a good home, you also need a good place. You get it? That is natural. Yeah?
I used to sleep. Those who have watched my older videos, I used to sleep my old house with my ex-girlfriend, and it used to rain. Go watch my videos.
Just because you are making content and you wanted us to see that, and because that would actually attract charity work. Or else, Your mother being a teacher, your father being a very serious farmer, as you have always told us that you learned hardworkingness from them, you couldn't be afford to be in a house that is raining. That was content, I believe. Yeah, even if you started from zero, it was a strategy, right? Because that time you are talking about, wasn't your sister in university? Wasn't your brother too in a good school? Wasn't your mother still earning, as you always tell us? Wasn't your father also very serious farmer, as you always tell us? So you should have you should have had a house that is better than what you are telling us. But anyway, let's keep listening.
If you check my older videos, me visiting my mom, I'll show you. We didn't even have anything. We didn't zero.
You can't have zero.
But from that, we've progressed where we are today.
You can't also have
so you
zero.
can always start life from somewhere. So this is gonna be Uncle's house for now. And you see, sometimes you just have to agree to start from somewhere. If you cannot start from somewhere, then it will be difficult on your side.
Okay.
Start from somewhere as you build yourself. Like me in my yesterday video, I was telling people, please don't compare me with anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not yet rich. I'm building.
You are rich, Marwa. Marwa always want to justify that he's not rich when actually in our senses he's rich, right? Yeah. So anyway, that is my discussion for today. I didn't want to go beyond 30 minutes. I want to bet so that I can do other stuff. Bye bye for now. Thank you.